Alright, so welcome to this week's lesson. As you may have kind of already read, we're going to go kind of back to what we were doing the last 9 weeks just to get our basics under us. So that means, ball bounces and squash and stretch and things like that. So we're going to start with a very simple ball bounce. And of course, this is going to be so much easier now that we don't have to sit there and draw on each piece of paper. So this should go a lot quicker. One thing you might want to do whenever you do load up is that you might want to kind of adjust some things. Not all of that. Okay, so bring that back around. Alright, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, so Control minus, just so that I can see my stage a little bit more. Just kind of gives me like a better idea. You can also do this. So somewhere in between. Let's go 60, maybe 70. I'm zooming in too much. 25. Okay, so I'm going the wrong way. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, so kind of like what we did, we want to start off with a reference line. And I think if you hold shift, this kind of snaps it. Let me see if I can get that flat, because obviously we want it flat. Let's see, click, drag it across so that it's flat. All right, good. So that's our reference line, and we could always come in here, make it thicker, and change the color of it just so that it kind of stands out. It doesn't really matter at this point. And remember, whenever you do export, only the things that are in this white box or your stage will actually show up. Okay. So there's no need for you to worry about, oh, this needs to be perfectly right here on this edge. No, just draw it straight through. It's not going to show up. So only things in this boundary will show up. So I'm going to go ahead and create another layer. And I'm going to lock that first layer and rename it just line. Okay. So I need to make sure I am in the second layer, and that I am not going to mess with that first layer because it's fine, it doesn't need to be messed with. If you've been doing your tutorials, there's a couple of different ways to go about doing this. I'm going to kind of do one of the easier methods. I'm going to right click, oval, I'm going to fill it with that. Here we go, no stroke. That way I don't have to worry about a boundary or an outline. Okay, so oval, no, go back. Okay, so I'm going to draw a ball. I'm going to draw it somewhere towards the top. Okay, first thing I need to do, once I've got my object, right click, convert to symbol, ball, make sure it's a graphic, click OK. Next, I can do this really quick, create motion tween. So I'm automatically going to create 1 second. And then I need to move the ball to where I want. But the issue is that that does not have here we go. Basically the line wasn't carrying over into my additional frames. So now I need to go and drag this and have it hit. Now luckily this is a little smart and knew that I drew a line there, and so whenever I was impacting it, That's where it was. Okay, so I have my 30 frames. If I just hit play, ball drops. All right. This is fine and lovely, but one thing that I know I'm going to need, just kind of want to sketch a little bit. Okay, we're just going to go back to this layer. I'm going to unlock it. So if I come here, I'm just going to draw like a little short line. So that's my highest point. Obviously this is my lowest point. And then I want the ball to bounce up to, let's say there, and then here. Okay, I know we talked about like the rule of thirds. So let's go ahead and I guess, let's see, select that and move it up. So that's approximately 2/3 of the way up. And then this one about 2/3. And then so on and so forth. So 2/3, 2/3. We're going to delete these lines later, so it doesn't matter if they are perfectly lined up in the exact width. They're just going to be deleted later. They're just for reference. Okay, so ball moves, hits the ground. So we know that the ball has to move up. Background there. So, no, it's not letting me because it's locked, I'm sure. Do make that invisible. Copy. Okay, so it made it all the way to there. Alright, we're going to lock this again. Make that visible. Alright. So now we need this ball to go back up. Alright. So we are going to drag this out. Now, that's 30 seconds. So I'm just going to go up to 50. And going to keyframe. Okay, so 30, 50, and you see that's dragged it out, and that's not what I want. So what I can do is, and I'm going to expand this up a little bit, double click, and it shows me the path of all of this. So this is actually my 1 second mark. And if I drag it around, you can see where it goes. Okay, so I actually need this to be there. No. Oh, well, I don't want to see that. Let me drag this up so I can get a better view. Okay. Drag this back down. Okay, so I've started to mess it up a little bit because it's not lined up. Let me just Control Z. That's fine. I want to change the Y location, so that would be helpful. There we go. Change the Y location. Okay, and then so that's 200 to somewhere around there. Alright, let's bring this down and play it. Okay, so Looks pretty solid. That's about where I want it to come back up to. So let's play that. Okay. So far we have, oops, I'm trying to get rid of these frames anyways. Remove those. Okay, so we're at about 47 frames. So almost a second and a half. We're playing it through, bounce, come up, hit. All right. I'm assuming this is going to take us all of, let's just say, 3 seconds. I'm going to auto put that out there. Okay. So here, 1, and then I need to start coming back down and come back up and down. All right. I'm going to extend this out to this mark. Click, shift, click, auto extended it out. I want to try and make sure I get those as well. Let's see. Might be because it's locked. So there, comes up, and it's got to come down now. Okay. Let me make another point. Let me insert a keyframe, and then I'm going to drag this up. And play it back. Okay. So, didn't look too bad. The one thing we do want to in the future is we'll look into easing and speed. Okay, so I'm going to add another keyframe here, and then this one needs to come two-thirds of the way, which we'll throw it about here. So from here, that's about right. And then of course we're going to add another keyframe. Set this to our center. And this is just a grid, so you can mathematically sit there and find, you know, the even value. And then this one is obviously going to be here, but we need to add more frames. Let's go and add up to 110. Auto insert. So boom, boom, boom. Add another keyframe to here. So high, low, high. Honestly, I feel like this needs to come down a little bit. Boom, boom. And then this one isn't honestly going to be much. And then add a keyframe and just kind of set it down. All right, so let's play it. All right, so it doesn't